Blizzard? Seriously? Oh, I'm sorry. Activision. Blizzard is all but dead at this point. Honestly, is anyone really surprised the PvE is canceled from Overwatch 2? We were promised this big PvE section of Overwatch, just fine the number 2 being slapped onto the Overwatch name, which included a battle pass and free maps and characters. Well, most of us saw it back in October, but now we really get to see why a 2 was slapped onto the Overwatch name. It wasn't to make a PvE mode, it wasn't to do all this stuff that they claimed that they were doing. No, it was simply to get us a battle pass, allow for a second release to boost sales, and resell a bunch of old skins to new players or old players who might not have it. Again, shouldn't really be shocked, this is Activision after all. Now look, I get it, they're a business, 100%, but this is just so frustrating. So, now that PvP is dead, what can we expect from Overwatch 2? More than one map a season? More than one character a season? Actual cosmetics to earn? I mean, PvE being gone must be saving them a buttload of money now, right? So now they get to finally put all that extra money into the PvP, right? If you can't tell from my over-sarcastically voice, we've got a lot to talk about today. What's going on, everyone? Tallen here with 5 Direct, and subscribe to the channel so I can eat lunch. Inflation's getting really terrible out here right now. If you enjoyed the video, then a like and a comment would help a ton with the almighty algorithm that is YouTube. If you dislike the video, then we encourage you to leave a dislike and comment down below how we can improve our videos. Make sure to check out our TikTok as well. We got some fun shorts and videos over there as always, and it's always a fun time. All right, let's get into this. You know, it feels like forever when Overwatch was released all the way back in 2016. While originally a PvP game on release, actually originally called Project Titan, an MMO, the team behind the game still had a good chunk of what Blizzard games were known for and why they were amazing. Not perfect by any means, but you know what? Blizzard was a good name back in the day. Plus, with the locations and concept arts that we saw throughout the game getting ready for its release, it was obvious that there was actually a good story behind it. I mean, heck, Dark Horse made a ton of comics on this and everything, and it's clear that the fans really wanted to see something from this. Over the years, Overwatch grew its fan base and player count to become one of the biggest online multiplayer games in the industry. Of course, it was not without its problems, all games have them, but it was generally liked by most players who liked FPS multiplayer games, ignoring the toxicity that was present in some areas. Personally, never saw it myself living here in Japan, but I heard the stories. Plus, the price jump was not too bad either. $40, and there was no DLC for over 4 years where all the maps and characters were free. What I mean is basically the DLC, you didn't have to pay for it. You paid once, you got some extra stuff afterwards. It was really nice. And yes, I know consoles had to pay the full $60, which sucks, but consoles also charge you for online, so yeah. Anyway, after a learning curve from Blizzard, there was a steady release of new stuff, including patches with meta changes, other changes to make things feel fresh, and of course, new maps and new characters. And for the most part, things are going pretty well. I didn't really pay attention to the competitive scene, but for the most part, the game was doing pretty well. New characters coming in, new maps, the whole 9 yards. Then we got the Dark Ages, where Overwatch 2 was announced back in late 2019. This also meant no more content for Overwatch 1. Yeah, that meant that for over 2 years, Overwatch 1 barely got anything. Unless something really broke the game, then it would be fixed. But other than that, we got one character in 3 years, which, let's be perfectly honest, basically no new characters and no new maps. So, anything else? Nope. Sayonara. Fans were very split on this, and I mean very split. While it was great to finally get info on new content coming to the game, no more loot boxes, and a PvE mode, that sounds pretty cool. I mean, the PvE mode itself showed off some really cool concepts, like being able to customize your character's abilities and its supers. Looked like a really fun time. However, on the flip side though, many were concerned for the prices for the cosmetics would be crazy expensive, the battle pass was entering the field, and PvE might just be a small add-on and barely any time was really put into it in resources. But again, Blizzard assured us they'd been working on this for over 3 years by the time Overwatch 2 was releasing, and you know what? Things were looking good for the most part. Yeah, there were some hints of trouble here and there, but overall, people were excited. Overwatch 1's player count had dropped significantly, and even the league was in trouble. So this was a chance for them to not only make a new name, bring more players back, but actually bring in some new features and prove to the players that it was not just simply slapping a 2 on and everything else would stay the same. When Overwatch 2 released in late 2022, it was actually technically still in beta. Season 1 released with it and showed exactly what had been worked with over all these years. The new maps and everything, right? Well, not really. Okay, not nothing, but it wasn't exactly big. Overwatch 2 was not 2. It was still Overwatch 1 with some extra stuff in there. Basically, call it a 1.5. And everyone else has. I mean, heck, when it released, you could still go into the Overwatch files on PC and you would see that it just simply said Overwatch. That's it. There was no 2. There was no difference. Yes, I know technically some of the graphics have improved, maybe some shades here, maybe some colors and everything like that, but overall, it really hasn't improved. It really hasn't. Then, as players started to play the game, get into the servers, when they actually allowed you to, we started to find out that we actually lost more than what we thought going from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. One of the main things we ended up losing from Overwatch 1 was actually a decent amount of maps. Now, while the maps are still technically there, you can only play it in arcade mode. So anything from competitive mode to the main modes or anything when it comes to the multiplayer, you actually never get to play on these maps in Overwatch 2 because they're not there. They took them out from particular game modes that were only in Overwatch 1 and said, hey, you can play it in arcade mode over here and practice or anything, and that's about it. It's just like, but I never get to play it in the actual game modes when I'm playing what you consider to be the main modes of the game. So we lost those maps. And that's just maps right there. Let's look at some of the in-game features. Things like the fire system, player borders, one less character on each team, the whole one tank system thing, and more. We're starting to realize that we're losing more than we thought we would. Now look, I'm not here to debate the meta and which one is better, the 2 tanks, the 1 tank, 6 players, 5 players. I'm not here to do that. But I'm just saying, when you market this game to bring back players and you're saying that you're losing an extra teammates, you better be able to bring something to replace it, whether it be a feature or something else. Just saying, people hold on to that stuff. One of the biggest changes, though, going from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2, however, though, was the pay structure. While yes, free to play, the new characters now are locked behind battle passes, since getting to level 55 in the past takes a decent amount of time. And I mean a lot of time and commitment to unlock these things unless you pay the $10 every season. Now, some people will say it's worth it, others will say it's not. Again, I'll let you decide that, but I'm just simply stating what we currently have now and what we used to have, where we simply got the characters when they released, and guess what? Now we don't. Because guess what? If you don't actually grind it out and get the character by the end of the season, maybe you've got a full-time job, you're at school, who knows? Guess what? Tough luck. You're out of luck. Also, I never thought I'd actually say this, but the loot box system was actually better from Overwatch 1 than the direct prices for Overwatch 2. I mean, these prices are ridiculous. Not to mention that most of these skins are not even that great unless you get the highest tier legendary skin. And some of these skins are just simply reused skins and different colors from Overwatch 1 that obviously they never sold because that was the loot box system back in the days. Now, by no means am I saying that loot boxes are awesome, hate them, they've ruined tons of games in the past and everything, but this was not the way Activision. This was all on Activision. It has their name written all over it, for crying out loud. Also is the fact that you can't actually play to earn any of these skins unless you play like 24 hours, 7 days a week. At least with the loot boxes, you got coins if you ever got dupes or simply just got coins from the loot box, which you could then use to buy skins. I never had to buy a single loot box because I would simply just play and eventually I got the coins at a reasonable time. Overwatch 2? Well, it could take me over a month just to get one skin. While you do get coins from season challenges and everything like that, it's pretty abysmal and you really don't get that much. Plus, it basically forces you to play like only one game mode and you have to make sure that you're only playing one particular way or with one particular type of character, even if you don't like playing with that particular type of character. Pretty pathetic, but again, what else are you going to expect from Activision? So while players were pretty mad about this, a lot of us actually said, you know what? We hate it, we don't like the changes, but it's worth it because guess what? We're supposed to be getting a PvE mode coming soon that would make all these changes worth it, right? Well, not so much. Now this brings me to today, May 17th, 2023. Blizzard announces their next seasons for the game, seasons 5, 6, and what we can expect for season 7. As you can see on screen, we're getting kind of the usual stuff. We're getting a character in season 6, we're getting a new map, we're getting some returning game modes, but let's be perfectly honest, most of these returning game modes are simply just used events that we've had in the past. It's kind of par for the core when it comes to live service games. Hey there, Summer Games. Season 6, like I mentioned before, is bringing a new character along with a player progression system. A year later, thanks. Can I actually earn some of the stuff in the game? That would be nice. And we're actually getting some story missions. But no, this is not the PvE mode that we've all wanted. That is now canceled. For good. Gone. Sayonara. But before anyone says, it's not the devs' fault or, nah, they never lied to us. First, I never blame main floor devs. They have to make the game and change things. That's what their job is. They don't really have any power to speak up and tell us otherwise. That is all on the higher-ups. As for not lying, well, technically true, they knew months in advance that this would not be coming. They've been working on this, according to them, for 4 years. They are backed by Activision, who makes millions, if not billions, each year. Money is not an issue, but they, the publisher and higher-ups, probably don't want to put a ton of time and money into something that's not going to make them as much money as a simple battle pass and live service system is going to make them. Regardless of our thoughts and opinions on this stuff, it does make them money still to this day. They want fast and cheap to get the most profit. Now, they claim today in their update video that they want to focus on the live service portion. Shocker, I know, right? So we can get the best quality we deserve. AKA the quality we've been getting pretty much since launch. If you expect the quality to actually improve because, well, now they're not putting all this money and time into the PvE stuff, no, that's not how this works. The developers working on all the PvE stuff, most of them are probably going to get put into new projects within Activision. A few of them might go to the PvP, maybe they've been working together and everything with the main PvE team, but overall, it's not like all of a sudden they just gained 20 new developers or something like that to then make all this new extra content. It doesn't work like that 9 times out of 10. So all that long waiting and hype that we were hoping for when it came to a PvE mode that was going to tell this awesome story and everything, well, guess what? It's gone. And we're stuck with just basically a live service game where people seem to be getting more and more mad at this game every single day. Now, we can't see player counts, but every time I jump on to see how the game is doing or how new season's going or anything, or I hear it's getting better, wait times in this game seem to be longer and longer. And no, this is not trying to play at 2 a.m. in the morning where there's no one on or anything like that. I imagine the player base is actually fine, but where it could be / where it was at one point, it's definitely fallen. Unless Overwatch really starts changing its seasons by adding in new things, remember, these seasons are made months in advance, so any changes are not going to be implemented until months later. I only see the player base dropping off more and more. Again, they claim that they want to work on the live service so we get the quality we deserve, but are they? We're on season 6 coming up already. I know season 5 technically hasn't even started, but we know what season 5 and season 6 look like. And season 7 simply has some things that they've listed here. That's basically it. So what? Are we waiting until season 8? Season 9? I guarantee you, season 8 is pretty much almost done for the most part. Or they at least have the lineup that they want to do. And then if they want to make any big changes, they really can't do that until probably season 9 or season 10. You want to know more about that stuff? Check out our video when it comes to the Destiny 2 breakdown when we talked about all of the live service secrets that they revealed and everything like that, which we kind of knew already, but it just shines a bigger light on what live service actually is. And a lot of people don't actually understand how that works. And yeah, it's a lot slower than you think. Now, does this mean that the game is going to die or it's dead or anything like that? No, not at all. At least not right now. But it's going to be a slow drain that I can easily see speeding up, especially now that there's no PvE mode. And if this season 6 stuff and season 5 and season 7 and everything else and these story mission stuff that are supposedly just probably leftover little bits from the PvE that's now been canned, I see the player base dropping even more. Honestly, it's just really sad to see yet another game break its promises and features that it said it was going to bring to its game. But it's unfortunately become kind of the norm for modern gaming. Anyone who thinks about it for more than a second knows that the reason 2 was made so that they could simply just market it for a new release to get more players to come back, even if only for a short time, and it would make them a lot more money thanks to the battle pass, skin ripoffs, etc. I mean, you earn less in game, so if you're not making as much in game, the outfits are just there enticing you to get them and everything like that. So, more likely than not, some players are going to put down some extra cash, and you know what? They're just going to jack those prices right up. I'm not mad, I'm just really disappointed. But again, like I said, what else do you expect from Activision? There is no Blizzard anymore, only in the name. And honestly, this kind of scares me for any future games. Looking at you, Diablo 4. especially after what happened with Immortal and the death of our beloved Overwatch 1. Again, by no means a perfect game, but it's better than what we've got currently right now. Well, we've said quite a bit here today in this video, so I want to ask you now, what do you think? Do you agree with anything I said here? Are you mad or sad that the promised PvE mode is no more and they're just going to simply continue the live service stuff, which is bland at best? Let us know all your thoughts down below in the comments. Again, do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Did I get some good points? Bad points? Let me know all your thoughts down below again. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and make sure to sub to the channel as always, because it helps us out a ton and tells us that you guys like this type of content. I've been Tallen with 59 Direct. Thank you so much to everyone who watched this video, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Johnny.